So the theme of MIXX this year is Fueling Interactive Advertising's Creative Revolution. What does creativity and interactive mean for you?
Creativity in interactive advertising mean, for me, three things. Number one, great content that engages the consumers, either because it's funny or because it's provoking, so people are starting to think about the content, or because it's useful. Ultimately, content needs to be useful and valuable for consumers to engage. So that's the first thing, content. Second thing that is important in creativity is the platform. Let's make sure that we put the creative on a platform that can be engaging, but also that can enable consumers to share the content and to create a movement with the content. The third thing around creativity is I think the best example of creativity in interactive advertising is when the content and the experience that the consumer has crosses the online space and the offline space.
Everyone is saying how the roles of marketers, agencies, and publishers has shifted or even merged in some respects. How has this change impacted the way you do your job?
It's funny, the lines have always been blurry between marketers, publishers, media agencies, creative agencies. And fundamentally, that's not a new trend. It's something that has always happened. I think the digital is making it more salient, I would say. The way we look at it is that creative agencies, we're in the business of creating ideas and engaging consumers behind those ideas. That doesn't change. So if each player in this ecosystem plays on its core strength, which is for us, again, creative agencies focusing on ideas, everybody's going to do a good job.
Can you tell us what you think is most important about MIXX and the IAB's work to the industry?
MIXX is the first conference during the ad week, so it's first both in terms of importance, but also in terms of the week. It starts on Monday, which is great. It's a great way to kick off the ad week. The IAB plays a very important role, especially as the industry is maturing. The IAB has a role to ask the tough questions, such as creativity in advertising and interactive advertising, or has a very important role with the regulatory agencies to make sure that the industry continues to self-regulate itself in a way that protects consumers' interest.
What's the single most compelling trend in interactive media?
I think the single most compelling trend in online advertising is the fact that there is no single most important trend. I'm always jazzed up because there's so many new things happening every week, every month, every year in the online space. But right now, I think there's probably three things that matter the most to our clients and to consumers. One is obviously social media and how social marketing and word-of-mouth marketing is changing. Two is mobile. We've been talking about mobile marketing and mobile for quite some time, but I think this year is really kicking off with the iPhone and all the Android applications and devices that are going to come up over the next 12 months. And then the third thing is video. Not video from a passive, one-way content, but much more in terms of interactive video and how video can nurture and strengthen engagement with consumers across all the platforms, whether it's the web-based, TV, mobile, and even out-of-home platforms.
What does today's consumer want?
What does the consumer want? I think the consumer wants to be listened. I think they want to be respected. I think they want to be engaged. I also think that in the 21st century, companies are playing a much bigger role in society than ever before. And consumers want brands that are going to contribute to society and not just be focused on selling more products. So consumers expect brands to have a point of view and to stand for something.
How do you prioritize and focus with so many distractions, both personally and professionally?
I don't. It's the biggest challenge of our lives, and both as a professional, given the job I have, but also as a person. We are growing a new generation of ADD people that are going to be very challenged to stay focused. However, what's interesting in the digital space is that there's so many tactics and disciplines going on right now that it really forces you to think laterally and to look at how you can connect all those dots together. So you need to be focused not necessarily on one specific thing, much more on the whole consumer experience and how all those dots can be connected together.
You spoke earlier today about what creativity means to you. Why is creativity in interactive so important?
If you look at the online advertising space right now, or the online marketing space, 80% of the dollars are really focused on direct marketing, customer acquisition, lead generation. And there's a reason, digital is fantastic at measuring things, so providing accountability and a return on investment to the marketing spend. However, marketing is much bigger than just direct marketing. And creativity is the single most important factor behind the digital space growing up and really changing brand marketing and brand advertising.